All right, so I'm from Iowa, and so we have a lot of corn, so I'll tell a corn joke. What did the corn stalk say when he was paid a compliment? Ah, shucks. So that's my corn joke. So I'm going to talk about pavement preservation and rehab education today, and what we can do as an industry to become more involved in that, and then also tell you about the class that I developed. So I'll just talk a little bit about my background. I'm from Northeast Iowa, and Volga City is the town, and it's famous for its annual truck cruise. And so if it has a tailgate, you can bring it to the truck cruise and drive it through the county in Northeast Iowa. And so I did my undergrad at Iowa State, and I did some agency internships. So I worked for the county, and then had a really great internship with the Federal Highway Administration as an undergraduate. And then I got involved in research. And that took me through my graduate school at Iowa State in civil engineering, and then I joined the faculty at Iowa State in 2015. So one of the things that students ask us is, so what do you do all day? So just a little bit of background of my role as an assistant professor at Iowa State. It's really, I chose the smart art gears here because there's really a great synergy between the three major aspects of our job description, which is teaching, research, and service. And those three areas really work together to help better each other. And so my role is to develop a research program. And in doing that right now, it's a lot of pavement preservation. This is we've been playing around with some asphalt emulsions. We have a brand new mill, and we're working in pavement preservation performance and doing some recycling research also. Then, so my second hat is to teach, and I teach undergraduate and graduate education and mentor graduate students and help them become professionals, and then also service to the field and to the university. And that's usually sitting on committees and reviewing papers and all kinds of fun stuff that go with the service. Just a little bit of background on Iowa State University. It's about 3.5 hours south of here, so if you just jump on 35 South, you'll think you're in the middle of nowhere, but then you're actually in Ames, Iowa. And just to give you a little bit of background, Iowa State, we have the largest civil construction and environmental engineering undergraduate program. We're ranked 12th in public universities, and 25% of our undergraduate degrees go to women and minorities, and undergraduate student employment rate is 100%, and 203 graduate enrollment, and so we're just over 1,000 graduate students for undergraduate students in the program. So one of the topics that professors have been talking about at several meetings that I've heard recently is the challenge to integrate pavement material education into our undergraduate programs. Just to summarize some of these challenges is there's state laws. You have to have 4 years in your degree program, and then ABET has their objectives, and you have to meet the accreditation for ABET. And we do that in some of our undergraduate classes, and one of the classes that we offer for undergrads is Design of Concretes, and this is a required class for undergraduate civil engineering students, and it's Design of Concretes. It's half asphalt, and then it's also half Portland cement. And the asphalt portion includes a mix design, aggregate testing, the asphalt binder testing, and construction aspects of asphalt materials, which give our undergraduates a really good base working knowledge to build on and learn about pavement preservation and rehabilitation for when they want to take technical electives later on in their degree program. So the American Society of Civil Engineers has come out with their Vision 2020, and there's talk about raising the credit requirements for taking and sitting for your PE exam. And the graduate degrees that are offered, there's a Master of Engineering, which is more of a course-based, and then the research degrees, your Master of Science and your Master of Philosophy. And when I joined the faculty in 2015, we had these pavement-related graduate courses. So if you wanted to go into pavements and specialize in that area, we already had some classes available, and those were the traditional pavement analysis and design for rigid and flexible, advanced design of concretes, which is another half concrete, half asphalt class, and then the advanced asphalt materials class, where you get into advanced asphalt mixed design properties, and then also the advanced Portland cement concrete. So what was missing? So you have the pavement life cycle, and they already had design and materials covered for a lot of it. The construction, it was all kind of wrapped into the materials aspect. But an area of opportunity that I saw was a need for developing more education in the maintenance and preservation area, as well as how you rehabilitate the pavements. And it seems like that's becoming just an everyday challenge for pavement engineers. So talked with my colleagues and said, so hey, what do you guys think about developing this course? And talked with some folks in industry and in different agencies, and everybody was really supportive of that this was a need in the industry for having a course on pavement preservation and rehabilitation. So this class is listed as a 400 and 500 level class, so it's open to graduate and undergraduate students. And then I won't bore you with the details of how you get a course approved, but there's a series of committees that you have to go through and present a course proposal and a course development package that is approved by the department and the college to be included into the curriculum. So one of the great things about this course is these topics really built on current research and my current research interests. So it was a great way to integrate new research and education together. And the dualistic class allowed for undergrads and grads to take it together. And so everybody could participate. The first half of the class was dedicated to preservation topics, so your seals, microsurfacing, chip seals, and we learned about materials. So most of the students didn't know very much at all about asphalt emulsion, so we talked about some of these different materials that aren't as commonly discussed in undergraduate programs. And then the second half of the semester was rehabilitation topics. And then we circled back into best practices for pavement selection and evaluating different alternatives. So once they understood what all the alternatives were, then they could go back and evaluate and compare and contrast different techniques. So industry assistance was crucial for developing this class. A lot of getting feedback, sending out the syllabus, changing some things. And then what to include in the course was a little bit tricky too. There's not really a great textbook out there right now for a class like this. So you're kind of starting from scratch and pulling in together all of these different resources. So one of the things that I turned to is peer-reviewed journal papers, so looking at a lot of the great research that have been published at the Transportation Research Record, the various ASCE journals, construction and building materials, International Journal of Pavement Engineering. Some of these just really solid peer-reviewed journal papers that you could start to pull curriculum from and get the latest on where the state of the practice is as far as research. Then industry conference presentations were really helpful, and then agency reports. So this is the Minnesota Seal Coat Manual, which is an excellent resource for teaching on seal coats. We had a lab that got cleaned out, and there was some old NHI course material in there that was kind of helpful, and various agency guidebooks. So the industry involvement was a lot of syllabus recommendations, which was helpful, getting different feedback on topics. Zoom, we had a Zoom guest lecture, so Zoom's kind of like your go-to meeting, and you're able to bring in someone maybe from another country to give a different perspective in your class about pavement rehabilitation and recycling. And then industry best practice guidebooks were an excellent resource too. So you could use the ISA manual, the recycling manual, and then the asphalt emulsions manual too, just to give students a fundamental working knowledge of all of these different techniques. And the terminology in our industry has been a little bit tricky in preservation, and using some of these streamlined manuals helps to streamline the terminology, so everybody's kind of speaking the same language when they're using the same best practice guidebooks. And so speaking of books, the Asphalt Institute Foundation actually donated textbooks to our students this year, and making those best practice manuals available to students, even if it's just an online download that goes away. They have all the online libraries now where you can download the book and it disappears in a few weeks. Just things like that for students, that they can get their hands on these resources. You can give them exam questions over their reading material, and or play Jeopardy. They like Jeopardy more than they do the quizzes. But integrating these best practice manuals and making them available to students. Then the industry-related visits, I went around and learned how to make emulsions, and then various conferences. The asphalt paving industry, the Asphalt Paving Association of Iowa was really helpful with feedback. We did a field trip, I'll talk about that, and then research projects and building relationships with industry engineers. For example, value engineering. So there's a situation where they were able to save almost $40,000 using changing out a seal coat for a slurry seal mastic. So I mentioned the field trip. We did 3 of these, so we kept small groups, and then we had we had about 20 students in the class, and this was taught back in spring semester last year. And so we went to the Des Moines Asphalt Terminal, and this is Grimes Asphalt in Des Moines, and then we went out to a paving site. So we were able to get a full idea of what is going on with the whole process of constructing the roads. Future goals for the class include more online content. We really want to tap into doing more continuing education, making these courses available for, maybe you don't want to live in Ames, right? So you can have more online content, so you can access that material from wherever you are. On-campus guest lectures, and then better pavement selection tools. So I think that's a key area of the course that needs improvement, is talking more about pavement selection for these different treatments. So it's been a privilege to work with all these engineers and to mentor mentor them, and really watch them grow. Students that come out of the program are engineers who are going to make a lot of asset management decisions. Many go into research, some now are contractors, asphalt suppliers, a few are professors, and then a lot of engineers are also customers at the end of the day too. So giving them the knowledge while they're in school gives them working fundamentals so that they can make better decisions when they get out into industry. So just to wrap up, so how to get involved in education, build relationship with the educators and with the students. So have internship programs, guest lecture, get involved in research, serve on committees and provide feedback on ways that we can improve research, talk about current challenges and research ideas. Pavement rehab and selection tools are an area of need. Educational videos, a lot of those were great for the class. I could tell the students watch a video and then come to class. And educational manuals and books and providing those with access to the students. Even if it's a download that goes away, then you can have it as part of your course. So thank you very much, and I'm happy to take any questions. Yes?
Do you guys have a co-op work program for, say, the summer months?
Yeah, there's a lot. We have the whole College of Engineering has a huge engineering career services available, and I can put you in touch with them if you're interested.
Actually, along the same lines, how does your internships work? Is it a set period of time, set geography?
It's kind of whatever you want to do for each employer. A lot of times, our asphalt internships internship program that we've had, it's been through the Asphalt Paving Association of Iowa, and we've had an internship program through them right now. But then Engineering Career Services, they have their kind of big everybody career fair in our Coliseum every year.
A follow-up question to that is how does it work in the U.S. college university system? You developed this course almost from scratch. How does this carry over into other regions, opportunities that our members can try to promote what you've done here into their local areas, institutions?
Yeah, absolutely, and that would just be working with those educators to see that if I had a lot of support from my colleagues in developing the class, and so you kind of have to get a big group at the university on board to approve it, but if you have a champion to develop a course, you can get it done.